Over the next several days, I'm going to show you some comic books. This is going to be an ongoing thing as I talk. I'm not going to tell you what year they came out. I'm just going to show the covers and then pass it on. But before I do, I want to make one thing clear. In 1974, I quit collecting the X-Men. And I sold all of my X-Men. Of course, a few months later, X-Men Giant came out, and that's a whole different story. But like I said, I quit collecting X-Men, and I have not collected them actively since. Everything you are about to see, I have received when I purchased a collection, or I did somebody a favor by buying their comics off of them, or they were just dumped on me. And so that having been said, let's get into it.
First off, I need to make a correction. Yesterday I said that I had 100,000 comics in this room. The reality is there's only about 10,000 in here. It was an error in my notes, and I apologize for that. So, having said that, let's get on with this next section. This is a how. How should we store our comics? Well, ideally you should keep your comics in a cool, dark environment with a low relative humidity. We don't live in ideal conditions. So try to keep them out of the sunlight and away from dust and dirt, and you'll probably be okay. If you're one of those people that like to display your comics, then I would recommend that you either block off the windows or make sure you have UV protection treatment on the windows. Regardless, change the ones on display on a regular basis just to be on the safe side. Most lights do emit some ultraviolet radiation. You can store comics in manila folders, poly bags with backing boards, mylar sleeves with backing boards. They have top loaders for comics. You can have them slabbed. The choice is up to you. There's a lot of options. Personally, I'm not a big fan of slabbed comics. There's nothing wrong with them, don't get me wrong. I just like to open my comics occasionally and experience the sense of touch and smell of the newsprint. Might be why I'm not a big fan of newer comics now that I think about it. They aren't on newsprint. You don't have that same texture. Many people keep them in boxes, and you can get card boxes, corrugated card boxes, acid-free card boxes, corrugated plastic boxes. I'm a big fan of those. And even storage boxes will work, or you can get plastic vaults. I also know people that store them in paper grocery bags. Once again, the choice is entirely up to you as to how you want to store your comics. Personally, I prefer 4mm mylite sleeves for newer comics and 2mm mylite sleeves with backing board for older ones. For my really old comics, I additionally put them in an envelope for just that extra bit of protection against the sunlight. As I put them in mylar, I'm slowly also putting them in the plastic corrugated boxes because, like I said, I really like those. So that's a quick idea of how you want to store your comics. I hope you learned something, and if you didn't, well, at least you could enjoy looking at a few more X-Men. Well, that's it for this one, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow, most likely. Bye.